The last session for the day is all about the Windows Store and the monetizing and what different options you have for actually when you build your application. We'll be talking about that slightly, but also what happens once you build your application and then you would like to create your account, when you need to actually, what kind of accounts you need for building the applications, what kind of accounts you need for publishing the applications, what are the certain caveats that you could face over there, and in the end also going some of the reasons that people tend to fail from the certification. Our approach with the certification is not black box. You send something and they say, nope, try it again. They tend to give you as thorough explanation, and also they are pointing to the certification rule that you need to check. I will go some of those through also in the end of the presentation itself. So, going to talk about the reach itself. Already showed those slides, but as a reminder, it's about big reach. Some of the economics, what different ways you have to actually commercialize your application, how you can manage that, how much you need to pay to Microsoft for selling your apps, or do you need to do that in all of the cases? Going to talk about that too, and in the end, probably I never done a live demo of creating an account, but I'm going to do that till some point, so we can see the steps over there too, and try to address some of the issues that people have faced during creating the accounts for that one. And then talking about the promotion itself, so what different ways we have to promote your work. We have several different ways to make sure that you're visible. The key one thing is that your app needs to be good. It needs to be something that we want to promote. So it needs to be something that aligns with the platform. Takes as much features out of the platform as possible, but not in a way that if your application if it doesn't make any sense to have search in your application, we're not requiring that you need to implement that search over there. It doesn't make any sense. But the key thing is the rules and the guidance that we have. It's really good idea to actually follow those. When you're building a first or second application, you should definitely follow those. Those are just guidelines. They are not requirements. As I said earlier, you can build an application that sucks, but at the same time, it probably is not so, how would you say, well rated in the Windows Store. So, talking about the reach and the opportunity, this is something that I already touched. But something that has been also, I didn't talk about these sales, estimated that next year there will be 450 million new Windows devices sold. That's a lot of devices. And all of those devices will be carrying the new Windows 8 platform. When people try to buy, I wonder what's wrong with my mouse. When people want to buy your application, the place where they get that one Windows shop, that place where you get those, is the Windows Store. Windows Store is installed on every single Windows 8 device. So by clicking the store, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let's jump on this side. Clicking the store. If I now want to download something, hopefully the network will work. Let's put this on too. There are a lot of people that are not listening and just emailing. Stay on target. All right. Urban Spoon. So what we have over here, and at the moment this is one tip for you all. What we see over here is not. Yes? Yes. Overall. No, we don't disclose those numbers in a way because that's like, I personally don't have the number how many apps has been downloaded. I can show you mine, my awesome traffic sign application. After this, remember all of you go and download that so I get a nice spike into my graphics, which is good. Good example of advertisement on doing this on stage. Well, I could put it like this. There is one partner that built an application and have a local partner and have over 7,000 installs already. But farther of that I can't go. But I don't know the global numbers, how many downloads has been made. I'm not even sure are we disclosing those at all. You can see the numbers, the trends compared to the same kind of applications in the store compared to your own. So if your application is a news application, you will see in the dashboard, I will show you that in some minutes. So you will see the trends compared to the similar kind of applications. But no, I don't have the answer like numbers to you at the moment, at least. But what we see over here, we can see that there's a lot of applications that are advertised. But at the same time, we can also see that, hey, those are not relevant for me. I'm from Finland. So I want to show you something that you might face in some situation. I'm going to go to the settings. Over here, not over there. Location. I'm going to change my location. As you can see, my location at the moment is United States. So that's the reason that I can't see the applications that are submitted only in Finland. So that's the first thing that you could check if you don't find your own application for that. So I'm going to change this one. So that's Finland. The other one, what I could miss is, even though I'm looking at the Finnish marketplace, the Windows Store, even though I'm looking at that, I might miss some of the applications because they define that it's only in Finnish. People that are using Finnish settings. So therefore, I also need to check that what I have on formats. So over there, I have Finnish. I'm good to go. Let's jump back to the store, which was this one. Closing the store, and open it again. All right, now I can see like Nordea, there's Yle News, there's Elisa Vihde, and so on. So those are relevant for me. That's a tip that is good to know. That could be the reason if you can't find your application on there. By default, this settings over here, this format settings, is actually by default, it points to this one. Which in many cases, if you have an English version of the OS, actually inherits the English settings. But normally, people are changing this because all the time format and everything changes for that one. So now that we're over here, I can click, let's say, top 3. Let's take something over here like, I wonder what I don't have. Do I have a cut the rope? I do have a cut the rope, but let's see that I will actually remove that one. Probably have it over here. Uninstalling an application goes like this, done. Now I uninstall that. If I want to install that again, I would come to the store, click install. So once I found the application that I like, I can see from here, I can see all the which of the processors are supported. In some cases, you might have a situation that you're consuming so much memory for a game or something that you just can't run that on ARM devices. So you could exclude your application from there if you will. On overview, I can see some screenshots over here. I can swipe it, look it through. It's a pretty nice game. See some description and see some reviews for that one. Now that I click install, I'm done. That was my experience that I wanted to install. Now that we're expecting, it starts to install that on the background. I can see it from here, that the application is over here, and now I can start and play the game. And of course, we need to have a sound, because this game wouldn't be anything without the sound. Imagine I get paid for doing this. Alright, so I have this game. I can start playing. I can use my mouse. I can use my finger if I will. This is a word of warning. This is really addictive. Be careful when you install that one. It's really addictive game. Alright. But the idea for that one is that, as you saw, the experience for installing an application is really easy. I went to the store, I said, install, it says, installing done. Then I can start using that. If I would be buying that, if it would be having a price, then when I click buy, it will ask my password, just to make sure that no one is actually clicking a lot of different applications and downloading kind of stuff that I wouldn't like to have that over there. So it is installed on every PC. So it's the gateway, it's the window to actually to the applications, your applications. So all of the users will find that through that. If your game is good, if your application is good, it uses all or fulfills all the principles that it would be promotable, then you could really easily find that from the first screen when somebody is going to the store, even though they are not searching your app, they would see that in the front screen. It is installed in every PC. I kind of said that already, so moving on with that one. Thinking about the reach, it is unprecedented reach. Thinking about how many countries has a store, how many different languages. And remember when we talk about the languages and the localization, it's really important. Even though you will be building your application only in English, for example in Spain, even though they know how to speak English and use that, they prefer, in many cases, to use the local language. So if you want to make sure that you have the maximum reach for the potential customers, do think about that. 120 plus markets for developers and in 80 plus currencies. What that means is that we take care of all the confirmation of the credit cards for the users and for the end users, for the customers. So if you will, all of those, the merchandising thing is all the commercial things and tasks are managed by us. All you need to do is publish and wait for the money for your bank account. I talk about this and I showed these nice balloons. I will remind you again. Think about the scale. How big that is. Skipping that one because we kind of look at that already. All right. So when we talk about the monetization options, think about your application as a top of that all, because that's the biggest thing. That's the thing that people are buying. But you could have your application model or the business model, you could have several different ways to actually earn money. Your application could be free. You could have commerce APIs over there. For example, one choice is on Microsoft commerce APIs. It's a SDK, you download that, you install that to your machine, and then we do all the work for selling those advertisements. And the normal split that we have on and others has too is 70-30, 30 to Microsoft and 70 to the developer. The other one, what you can also do, you can have, wrong way. So commerce APIs, means that we take care of all the money traffic that you have. So once you sell your application, or somebody buys your application, we make sure that the money comes from their credit card. We make sure and we take the risk about the credit card itself. You don't. So think about this, the 30-70 split in a way that split is because we manage your money. We manage your incomes in a way that we route those to your bank account in your own currency. You don't need to do anything else than fill one tax form that you won't be double taxed by U.S. Government, and then you will get your money to your account. The other one is advertisement. So if your application would be free, it could be that the business model would be advertisement, and in that case, we're doing the work for selling the advertisements and so on. What you also get, you get a lot of analytics. You can browse different stuff from over there. You can use our analytics tools. You can how would I say? You can monitor the usage of the application, and we have even on the dashboard a lot of stuff that comes out of box. But at the same time, you are not bound to use Microsoft solutions. So you could also, if this just goes forward, you could also at the same time use third-party commerce APIs, third-party advertisement, or third-party analysis. Which means if you have your own way to manage the money, let's say that you already have a subscribers. Your application would be free. You're renting movies through that application. Every time when somebody is renting a movie, let's say it would be like €5 each. If you manage the whole thing, it doesn't go through Microsoft commerce APIs. You get it all. You can bypass that. It's okay. If that's your business model, you can do that. For example, Veikkaus build an application on Windows Phone. The same goes on Windows Phone. They build an application on Windows Phone. They can't do that on any other platform. Because it's a charity thing. All the funds that comes in goes to charity. It doesn't work if somebody is trying to take 30% off from there, right? So you have the choice. We started from scratch in a way when we thought about these models, and we thought about this also in a way that how can we build this in a way that it supports the end customers, but it also supports the ecosystem, the developers that are building stuff on that. And I often get the question, okay, so what's the point? What's in it for you? So if you allow developers to actually sell stuff through in your Windows Store without getting any money for that, like, are you stupid? No. The point is that it's really expensive to manage the whole commercial thing. It is really tough job to do. Those of you that do that, you probably know that it's really expensive. But in some cases, if your company already have that framework, that's probably the wisest thing to do. Some business models have the cut that they get in their applications is really, really small. And in some cases, it doesn't work if they need to take 30% off from there. Then they need to figure out other ways. It could be PayPal. You can use also PayPal over there. It could be in-app purchase implementation using PayPal. I'm not sure. I think PayPal takes something from some cut from between two. But anyway, you have the choices, and you can do those choices yourself. What's in it for us? If your business fits on Windows Store, and that's relevant to the customer, that raises the quality and the importance of the platform. So that's the catch. We want to make sure that you all have the possibility to build those applications with the model that you prefer, not the model that will say, this is the way you do it, take it or leave it. Another thing to talk about is the revenue sharing. So I mentioned already that we have 70-30 split. So normally you get the 70% of the revenue share. But once your app hits $25,000, you get 80. So we're lowering our cut. If your business is really big, you're getting more. And you can just start calculating from 25,000, how much would be a 10%? Well, fast, it would be 2,500. And after that, it's 80% all the time. So I would say that's a pretty fair thing also, because there's some big companies that their revenues are so big that they need to optimize. So talking about trials. Trials drive much, much higher revenue. What that means, think about that you will be, somebody comes, I've been using this example as for this one. Somebody comes to you and say, hey, I have this really good brand new Volvo. It costs like, it costs like 70,000 in the store. It's only 5 kilometers driven. And he or she says, and it's legitimate, it's not stolen and anything, but some strange reason they need to escape from the country, and they want to sell their car. And they say to you, okay, I will sell this car to you with 20,000 euros or 30,000 euros, but you're not allowed to try that. You can see some screenshots of the application, but you're not allowed to test drive, look inside, try to smell it. You can't do anything of that. Would you buy that? You're not sure. But if instead of saying 25,000, they would say it's 35,000, the 70,000 euros car, but you get to drive that with 1 week. You can take that to a technical guy who is going that through and checking that everything is good. And you know that everything is fine with that. It's much, much easier to do the decision even though the price was higher, because you know the value. Based on the outcomes that we have on Windows Phone, using trials, so instead of having 2 different versions, sending the other version, this is the light version, the free version, and then this is the paid version. And you need to manage 2 different versions. What you can do with trials, that's actually, the easiest way is to actually set an application to a time-limited trial. You don't need to do any extra coding. You set that in Windows Store, 7 days, 14 days, 90 days, whatever you want to have that. And the store will make sure that the person is getting to test that application only that time. How many of you have sometimes installed an application which is a trial, and then probably adjust the time in the machine, or probably uninstall the application and reinstall that and reuse that. How many? Oh, they're so naughty people in Finland. That's the truth. And if they would write something in the registry in a way that you couldn't find that, you could always install that to another machine and continue, right? What happens over here with trials, the store managed, it knows that me as a user, I have installed this as a trial. Even though I would try to install that to another machines, it still knows that I already used my trial period. So it protects you guys of the other bad people, which we are not, like tweaking all the settings and so to actually use those applications. And you don't need to do any coding for that one. There is another way also. You can actually define different packages, like trial packages. You can define trial rules. So there's an API that you can check in your code. Just ask, am I in a trial mode or am I already both? If I'm not in trial mode, show these features, allow the users to level 13 to 70 and so on. Enable these functionalities. That's one API that tells you that in the code. So you don't need to manage the light version and the full version. You manage one version in your development cycle, and therefore you can actually make sure that you can offer the users different experiences. You can also have different packages, which means that I could give my application for free, let's say about the traffic signs. But if you would like to do some serious sharing from there, you need to buy the sharing package. What I do is actually define a new package, give a price for that package, and in my code, just asking from the API, have the user bought this package or not, and enable different features. Still, it's exactly the same code that I'm using. I don't need to manage different versions of the application. It's within the code. So think about the trials. On phone side, we learned that using trials multiplied the downloads by 70 times. There was around 10% conversion rate to actually that generated new business. And in the end of the day, the revenue grew like 10 times. And now some smart ass of somewhere else, hey, I'm counting as 70%, 10. Shouldn't that be 7 times more, not 10 times? How many of you were thinking about that? Yeah, I get that every time. So that was the trend. But the trend was also, in these cases, the revenue grew. I don't know why it grew more than just the trial. But apparently that helped, because the people that were using the application were also, since the conversion rate was more, they were also rating that more. So it rised more, and people loved that, and other people saw, hey, that's a great thing, I want to download that too. Think about Angry Birds. Really, really simple but cool game. The best advertisement ever for them is that people are telling about that to each other. So, talking about the in-app purchase commerce. Just open up this over there so we can see them all. So you have ways to buy one-time purchases, which means that once you buy that, you own that. You could have also time-limited trials, as I mentioned earlier. You could also have feature-differentiated trials, as I mentioned earlier. So you could buy the whole thing, but you could use some features, and you could even have a trial of a feature that you could try out, and then choose to buy that. Also, purchases over time, so you could have a persistent purchases. And oh, sorry, the time limited, the one-time purchases and purchases over time. You could also sell something that people can only use like certain time. It could be like magazine, could be that kind of consumables. You buy that every time when you go over there and click, I want to buy that. The duration for that purchase is 1 day. Next day you need to buy that again. Or you could buy that on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis fee, and therefore you will be having a subscription. It depends on the scenario, it depends on the use case and the business case that you have. What is the best model for you? So you get to choose that. Also, as I mentioned earlier, you can have third-party commerce. What that actually means, it means that you have the existing relationship with the customers or subscriptions, let's say a magazine that already has tons of customers. And now they are launching their Windows 8 application. And the existing customers can go and download that for free, just enter their customer number, and they're good to go. There wasn't any money going through our commerce APIs. So we took from that number 0, our 20% or 30%, which is 0. Make sense? So talking about advertisements, I want to show you one app for advertisement that is using the Microsoft advertisement side. And this is a Seattle Sounders football club. So this is an application that they built, that you can see there's some of the dynamic like animation over there going around, but the interesting thing comes in the end. So what we see in the end, this is an advertisement. It doesn't need to be boring and something that doesn't fit to your theme. It could be something that fits really well in the theme. It could have some animation. It could have a lot of stuff. So this is the kind of stuff that you can build also with and can get built with the Microsoft APIs. But as said, you're totally free to use whatever you like on that side. All right. So talking about the submissions, the developer registration that you can start developing, it's totally free. What that means? Download the tools. You can sideload to your PC your own application that you build. All the tools are free, although they are the express version. So probably the companies would like to prefer to have the full version because of the source controlling things, unit testing, and a lot of other things that you would like to prefer to use. And managing those, all the team photos and server, application life management, and so on. That is the important stuff, really, when you actually start doing a real applications. You probably know that. In many cases, people are tending to test their application in that phase when they already publish their application. People are complaining. It's not so good approach. And we all know that doesn't work in that way. So that's the reason that the full version of the tools do make different also. But to get started, to build your application, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to get the developer registration. What it actually does is when you start building your application, it will say, hey, let's create a developer account to your PC. It asks your Microsoft account, which is AKA Hotmail Live account. And then you enter the account, and you enter your password, and you're done. Then it registers your PC for 30 days or 60 days to be a developer device. For these kind of devices, you can use PostScripts and actually sideload application as you will. It's not the way to actually deploy applications. It's not so. It would end up in the situation that you have a lot of PCs that the developer account has, or the registration has already expired, so wouldn't rely on that. On the store registration, once you build your application and you want to publish those applications, then you need to have a store account. Store account is something that you use. It is a Microsoft account that you use to log into the store. Remember, if you do that to your company, do not use your personal Microsoft account, because company has only one account at the moment. I know it's one of the top asks that we have. Could we attach another account over there? At the moment, we can't. There is one account, which is the master account for that store account. So if you need to publish something, all of the members that are doing the publishing or viewing the reports and so on are using that same account. So don't use your personal Live ID, Hotmail account, so in other words, Windows account, Microsoft account. Just as a tip for that one. For students, for MSD, for startups, and also for the companies that has bought the MSDN subscription for their developers, the account is free. So what you do actually, students, startups, and the MSDN subscribers actually all go to the same place and get the token for that one. Actually, sorry, startups and MSDN subscribers do that. In that way, students get that from DreamSpark. So you get a token when you go and sign for the Windows Store account. There is one box where you enter your token, and that actually waives the cost for the account. For the individuals, it costs like $49, and for the companies, $99. For the companies, it's good to know that there is a third party that actually goes through the background of the account. So if you say that you're from, let's say, Microsoft, we probably check, are you? And we probably notice that, hey, you're not. If you try to say that you're Rovio, they will check that and see that hey, actually you are not. So expect to have an email, expect to have a phone call for a third party vendor when you actually create that account. So the reason for this one is that they are checking also that nobody else is using your brand. Nobody else is pretending to be your company, and therefore getting that name over there, out there. So imagine if I would create an account before the Angry Birds was released, Windows 8, create a Rovio account, say this is Angry Birds, it costs like €10, it's really cool, and people would bought. I wouldn't put the trial over there, and people would just bought that, and then they would notice, hey, what is this? I definitely would get caught, but still, I could cause a lot of pain for a lot of people. Just to know that. On the individual side and also on the business side, when you're actually building, doing the registration, and you need to have your credit card with you. So when you go over there and you enter your credit card number, it goes through. Then it says, "Welcome, you're a developer in the Windows Store, but you are not validated as a individual." So as an individual, when you create that account, they will charge you an extra some amount of money from your credit card. Even though you will be using the promo code, they will do the same thing. But don't worry, they will return that same thing after 2 days. The reason for that is that with that, they get a strong authorization, because you are probably the only person that see your build. So you get in the receipt, you get a certain code, and when you get this, they are asking you the code for the verification from the receipt that they did the purchase, this fake purchase that they will return. It is not the code that sits in the MSDN as a additional benefits. So you use the MSDN benefit code to actually waive the price, but the code that they are asking later on, and they will ask that when you try to submit if you haven't done that so far. So you need to go to your credit card receipt or the report and find that line from there, and either give the amount of the charge that they did or a searching code within the information level. Just to emphasize that, because that's something that I know it is not. Have anyone of you experienced this already? Gone this through? Was it really straightforward? No worries with it, or? Pardon? Yeah. But some of the folks that tried that, it felt really like confusing, and the reason is that the documentation is not as good as it could be. Yeah. Right. But it didn't match. Did you need to do the conversion? And that didn't work. That worked. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the comments was about the process itself, and apparently it went pretty well. But be aware that when they ask the code, you're under time pressure. You need to publish yesterday, and you try to publish, and it says, we haven't verified you yet. It's not the MSDN code, because it gives you 3 tries, and if you try to put the MSDN code every time, it doesn't work. I don't know actually what happens. Does it lock that's the account or what? But anyway. All right, think about the store account. How many of you do not have a store account at the moment? Okay, today, go create that. Let's see what that could mean for us. So we're going to devwindows.com. devwindows.com, this is the landing page for the whole thing. We can go on the Windows Store apps. And if we go to dashboard, what it does at the moment, because I'm using Windows 8, it automatically uses my personal account to actually log in over there. So now you can see that I live in Tuusla, because there's a typo. But this is my personal account. So I don't have an account over there, and we could go and continue with this one. And that would be my publisher name. I would be entering all the information that I need over here. I could say my preferred email language is English or Finnish, whatever I prefer. Click next. It's asking me something. Let's see what it is. Can you see where the mark is for error? Oh, this one. Okay, so let's put my full name over there, like that. Agreement, as we all know. Let's remember to read this. It's super important. No skipping, no skipping. Every line. Yes, seems to be good. Okay. If you don't like it, there's a choice. Don't make $1 million, because that's the only way to actually get inside over there. Over here now it asks the registration code. If I don't have that, if I would put that over there, it would now set my price to 0. But since I don't have that, I would click next. And hopefully it won't charge automatically, because I already have another account. But we'll see. Did I click it? No. And then it wants to verify. It looks pretty bad that it's going to actually buy me another account, but let's see. All right. This is the farthest I will go. I won't pay this right now because I already have an account. So the next steps that we have on this side, it will do the charge, or the charge my card, and then it will let me into the system saying welcome, I'm in the system. So I'm going to sign out now from this account and using. Yes. Oh, where would you get that? Sure. I didn't actually show that, so that's a great question. So let's go to MSDN. In MSDN, I need to sign in over here. Now that I just signed out, it requires my password. And over there we have downloads. And somewhere over here, let's see where that was. Was it in the account? Over here? Should I click this one? I'm sure there's no naked pictures in the MSDNA with my account, right? So over here, let's see. No. No, I think it was, I saw it in the additional benefits. There's somewhere it's additional benefits. This is so intuitive. Access benefit from my account, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So that's the key. Even though the session is recorded, I already used that key, so don't use that. No sense to do that. All right. Going back over here, it probably gives me an error now because I'm already signed in, but let's try. Live.com. Try to not say my password aloud when I'm typing that. Sign out, yes, okay. It's a strange thing that men can't talk and type at the same time, isn't it? Probably a good thing. So there's one application that I just made over there as a demo, like Aptic or Drugstore. There's my traffic signs. As you can see, I have tremendous 63 downloads over there. I'm not sure if I just focus on the wrong audiences or something like that. But what I have over here now, if I want to actually start submitting an application, what actually, yes? So students get the token from DreamSpark, as far as I understood. But at the moment, there is a challenge on students because still they need to have the credit card when they are registering and doing the registration over there. The reason is not to actually charge them, it's for the identification. So that's the verification that you are who you claim to be. But they get that from DreamSpark. I think if you can't find it from, yes. Yes, it is an individual account. Yes. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense that you just use a free token. As a BizSpark company, you get those free tokens too. So what you need to do over here, and this is the reason I say go and create your account and reserve your name. I'm going over here. I'm creating a new app. I will say WowZap Finland. reserve app name. Now it's reserved to me. No one in the world can get that name anymore. So what does that mean? If you have a really good idea and you want to build your application, but you're going to build that within the next 6 months, create your account, go to the store, and reserve your name. Because someone else could do that before you. If you have an awesome idea with an awesome name, you will lose that name if someone else does that. Make sense? Sorry, could you repeat that? No. No, and you should use only one, because therefore, if people love one application, they will find through your publishing account the others too. So if you get to sell a lot of one app or some games, then the people could expect that, hey, since they built this great game, probably the other one would make sense to download and buy too, right? Okay, so now I just reserve this one. Remember, once I've done that, no one else can reserve that. That's mine. The next thing that I'm going to do is the selling details. I need to set the pick price tier. I can choose from free to $834.99. The reason for that price is that it's $9.99, but that's the reason. So I can set, let's say we're building something really awesome, which would be 200 euros. But since nobody buys that, unless it would be, I'm super rich, you know the application. People are paying 500 euros for a phone to just get the tires on the phone. Yes. Yes, I will show you that in a second. So the question was about the in-app purchase, how you're managing that. So what happens over here, let's say that I would give a trial. I could do trial that never expires. For example, in my awesome application, it's built in a way that if you have all the features on trial and on the paid version. If you buy the paid version, everything that I get on my bank account, I will give to charity. The reason to build that was just to test out the APIs and see how that works. So go and download and don't be so shy on buying that, right? No, serious. So the idea is with that one is you can have exactly the same model, exactly the same version, or you could limit the functionalities as I talked earlier. So over here I'm setting that I have trial of 7 days. I don't need to do anything to actually have this trial working. Now the framework will make sure that it's within the 7 days, since I download that. I will select all the markets, which means that I'm selling that worldwide. I can set, once I submit my package, I can set when that package should be released. I could say that release my app as soon as it passes the certification, which takes about 1 week, from 1 day to a couple of weeks, depending on how complex the application is, because the certification is taking some time over there. There's a manual phase in the process also. There are people actually testing out your application also. So setting that like that, and then picking up the category, I think it could be WhatsApp, could be something like lifestyle, because it's fun. Subcategory, we don't have any, so that's it. And this is an important thing. If I'm using certain features that requires from DirectX 9.3 or 10.0 or higher, I can actually set those settings over there. So if someone has, for example, a device that doesn't have that updated over there, they will not see your application. So you can make sure that the experience for the end user is good. Instead of buying and downloading your application, seeing that it doesn't work, it just jams or something, and they would write that to the reviews, right? Which would give you bad reviews. You don't want to have that. The reviews are something that drives people to download your application. So you want to make sure that the existing users are happy, and if your application is a sort of an application that you need to exclude some of the low-end devices away or not updated devices, then you need to do that. It's a good reason, good way to do. The other one is also you could say that the system with 2 gigs and more. So if you have a game that requires over 2 gigs of memory or something like that calculates a lot, I probably would push the calculation to the cloud, but if you would have something like that, you can also exclude those. And then we're good to go on this one. Advanced features. So this is what we talked earlier. In-app purchases. If you would use the push notification, which I don't configure now, you would have you would do the configurations over here, because the push notification also includes the ID of your application. You need to copy that from the package so they can map that application to the push notification services. But on the in-app purchase side, we could say that this is like a background blue. So I'm selling blue backgrounds to my awesome applications. So now the users could choose. This is whatever you want to define. This is the code that you will pick up in your application code. That string you will test. Did the user use this package? So you can choose whatever you want over there. But it could be descriptive. It would help. I can choose that this package is actually, if you want to have blue background, that will be like $19.99. But you get that only for 1 day. Right? Maybe we should add another one, because it's so fun. So we can put also a background red. But this one would be much more expensive. But you get it for, let's put it like that. All right. See the pattern? So what you can do, you can choose how you build those packages yourself. You grab that in your code, and you do whatever you want to do. Hopefully you will provide some additional features to the users. Otherwise you get bad ratings on that side. Yes. The question was, can you adjust that? So when you publish a new version, you probably include also those features over there, right? But I do not know what happens if you remove something which somebody already bought. Can I remove those? Let's see, can I remove those? Advanced features. You can't change and delete product IDs after you submit that. Delete, yeah, the IDs. But can you add more? Oh, but if you can delete, yeah, makes sense. I never thought about that before, so that's a good point. So do think about, do some serious planning, right? No, just sell it and go on. Put the 500, and if there's a stupid person that buys the red background with the 500, let it go. And send a chocolate package during the Christmas and apologize. Yeah. The updates. Yeah, we can go to the updates. So the question was about the updates. Were there other questions related to this one? We do not have currently consumables, which means that you could buy like a certain like one book in a way that you would have a different code for them. Let's think about that you would be having a online bookstore which has 10,000 books, and then you would go there, honey, what's the ISBN number? Yeah. But as far as I know, we don't at the moment. But we're working on the consumables in a way that you could do. One thing to actually do that is also like doing the charge through the packages or these additional in-app purchase offers, which is only lasting 1 day. But what you do, you actually like check that once the person is buying that, you just check that it wasn't purchased before the transaction, now it is. But that would also make that if they want to buy 2 or 4 books, it could be getting complicated. But we're working on that, so it's the consumables are on the way, but when can't say that. All right, so that's the one on that side. Advanced features, age ranging. This is really important. Do think about that. What is the age range that the user should use your application? If you're building some applications that are meant for adults and like plus 16 years old, do make sure that you have that over there. You don't want that your application is removed because it was not appropriate for the audiences, and also in most it probably doesn't go through the certification. They will check that and see that. One thing that I want to show also is this is like cryptography. If you have some kind of decryption in your application, there are sort of algorithms that you can't use because the Uncle Sam that wants to monitor everything. But if that's the case, we do have the documentation for this one too. But just to let you know that if you use some kind of encryption over there, you just need to check what to use, or not to use the wrong ones, the bad ones. And on packages, let's put that like yeah, blah, 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 blah. Always click yes if it's asked. Age rating, we're really happy with the application. One thing to note, if you're submitting your applications to a variety of the countries, there are different rules in different countries. There are certain special rules, for example, for Japan. So you need to make sure that you have, if you're building a game, they have special ratings that you need to make sure that fulfills that. You could always exclude those countries from your first submission and include them later. But it will give you some extra work because you need to make sure that it is validated. The content is valid. For the packages then, I will create the package over here, so for the WowZap Finland. So let's build an application for that one. Sure. Let's go over there. This is my app. We're creating a new app. WowZap Finland. Now, if I would submit this, probably it won't go through because it doesn't do anything. And also, as we haven't in the app manifest that we talked earlier, we have the capabilities over here. I have the internet client over here. I need to define the privacy policy, both in the store. I will show you that place from there, but also remember, also in the application. When you look through the certification rules and the guidelines, you see, yeah, what we have that because we already filled that to the store. It needs to be in the store so the people that are going to download your application but haven't done that yet can check those that privacy statement. There needs to be a link for that one. It needs to be also in the application itself. For example, if we're looking at the application that I had earlier, Let's go over there to the end. I think we have a privacy statement over here. Privacy terms and policies. So it needs to be in the application. If it's not, you will fail. Oh, sorry, your application certification will be failed. We're not failing. So remember to remove the internet client from there. If you're not using any connections from your application out of in, remove that. Then you don't need to define the privacy statement. Yes? The question was on the phone side, if you declare a capability and you're not using, they will reject that. Or they remove the capability from the application. I do not know. I don't know if they would do that, the same thing. They do check the additional rules for the capabilities. For example, we talk about GPS. If you have the GPS over there, you need to also define how you are going to use that data. But I don't know that. It would be handy. You just tap all the capabilities over there, but I think they're not doing that. I think they actually, if they see that you're trying to use something, if you define the capabilities, fulfill all the requirements for that one and give all the privacy statement and so on, but don't use that, I think you just made a lot of extra work. But on the other side, if you don't fulfill those, you will fail. All the application will fail. So we could take that away. Now what I would do next, I would go to my project. Should we run this first? Just to see that it's working, because it's an empty application. We have okay, that looks good. I have the settings over there. Permission says that I don't want to have anything from the user. We're happy. This is perfect black screen. We could do a blue screen. That would be easier. So then let's go on this side, go to store. Over here, I will check, we need to create succeeded. What's wrong over there? Project, build, rebuild, yeah, like that. Okay. So on the project side, in the store, we can do a create app package. So what I'm doing over here, do you want to build package to upload Windows Store? Yes, I would. I need to sign in. So what it does at the moment, it actually signs into the Windows Store, which is really handy because I get all the information for the application from there. Like this. I even see the application that I have over there. I can define the application from the Visual Studio. Let's take the WoWs app. Go next. Now it provides me the easiest way to actually versioning it. It will automatically increment those. It also shows me the version that I have for the packages. By default, I have a neutral. So whenever you're building an application for Windows 8, you're building one package which is neutral, which means that it will be installed to ARM devices, 64-bit devices, and 32-bit devices. However, if you want to separate for some strange reason, let's say that you will be building some special features for the 64-bit build, that is not possible to do on ARM. So you could separate those and have different kind of builds for that one. In most of the cases, you go really smoothly with the neutral, but that's just to let you know that. Or if you would like to just send one version. If you release a version that is only for x65, then the ARM devices will not get that. They can't download that from there. All right. Now I'm clicking create. It creates the package for me. It's done. The next thing is it suggests launch Windows App Certification Kit, which calls WAC tool package. That's the one what you need. You're not forced, but you would be kind of stupid if you wouldn't run that. That runs almost the same test that the store will do in 7 days. You will wait 30 minutes. So you get to know the first feedback right away. Will it fail or not? If the WAC tool fails, it will fail in the certification. Make sure that you run that. That's first thing. Over here, I'm not running that because I'm Rebel. But the idea for this one is actually just to include the package that I have. So I have the package, I think it is this one over here. And let's browse that actually. App packages, it would be probably that one. I could choose this package from here and click open. And now it's, oh, I screwed up. Don't leave the page before it's uploaded. It goes over there. Almost there. Woohoo. Okay, we have that over there. Some validation errors. Probably the hello word without any text isn't the best thing to do because I haven't checked everything over there. In theory, this would be the way how we do that. So obviously we need to submit a real application over there on that side. So the validation failed. It also gives me the instant feedback for that one. All right. Someone asked about the update. I could show that because the rest of the stuff on this side is something that we want to. So we have the notes to testers and the description. Let's go to the packages and remove the package for a while. Let's take that away. Save that again. So we should go, no, we can't go to the description. No. Oh, no, let's see. The following display name does not match any of your reset names, Tom of Tuusula. This was a joke of our internal demos, and it's over there. Okay, so that's the reason. There is a conflict with the naming, so let's not go over there. However, I'm jumping to this application that I have over here. If I would like to create a new release, so the updates from my side happens like this. I go to that package that I already published. I go over there, add a new release, and submit a new one. What you need to do when you submit, and I'm showing that from this side because I have all the information over here. You need to provide the description over here, some application features, keywords, description for the updates that we're doing, the trademarks, if you will, additional license terms, and so on, and the screenshots. If you're saying that this is awesome game and you can track bunnies with it, and actually you are tracking sheep, you're not talking truth, and you will fail. No, seriously. They will check what your application does. Probably, I'm not sure if they go so deep in the games, but the idea is if you say that it does something but it doesn't, the application will fail. If you say that you have these features and in the application you have soon to come, will be updated soon, you will fail. One of the requirements is the application needs to be fully functional as it is described in the submission. The other one is the screenshots that you have over here. If you localize that in Finnish, do submit correct screenshots shots that are in Finnish. If you put the English one, it will fail. They will match those together. The reason for this one is the quality is really important for us. We want to make sure that the experience is consistent and good for the users. On the first time, it feels like, come on, it can't be this trick. But once you've done that once, then you know, okay, I just need to do this. And you're good to go. All right? The promotional images. If you want to make sure that we could promote you in the store because you build an awesome app, it has really awesome features, and you would like to use that or get that promoted, do make sure that you fulfill those. If we don't have the graphics to promote that, we won't promote that, even though we would in other case. Make sure that you have that. We have promoted applications like just picking up something like, hey, that seems to be nice. Let's promote that. Without asking anyone. Just putting that over there. Since it's people like that. So, but if you leave that away, that chance goes away too. One more thing for the testers. I think there was a description notes for the testers. This application, these testers notes. If the tester needs to have an account to test your application, if there's a GeoTrust and Geo blocks or something like that, GeoTrust is a third party that will validate you. Geo blocks or something with your videos or something, you need to provide the guidance to the tester how to test the application out. If you send your application, which is an internal application that you can get access to your certain functionalities in your system, you need to provide a way that they can test the application. If you send the application without the credentials, they couldn't test that, it will fail. I'm sorry that I say this, it will fail, it will fail, it will fail. It doesn't always fail, I think. All right. But the update that I was showing, so the update was the packages over here. So when I went to the packages, I could go over here, update a new package. And with that, the version would be something different than this one. And therefore, it would be really simply updated over there. What the users see, they will see that there are some updates. So they will see that there is an update over there, and my network is, I don't know what's going on for this one. It shows over here that there are some application that needs to be updated, and putting that to the store tile over here. So you see that there's like 3 updates waiting over there, you to activate. So for users, it's really easy to see that, okay, I need to go over there and just activate those on that side. And now I know why the MTV3 doesn't work, because I have an offline version of that installed to my PC. Never do that if you can. All right. So thinking about the certification issues, I already talked about this. Run the WAC locally. And if you haven't done this, run the WAC locally. And a good idea, once you build your application, is running the WAC locally. Yes, do that. It helps, saves a lot of time. The other one is read the policies and resolution docs. We do have 2 different shortcuts. It's AKMS/store-reg and store-fix. So if you have some issues with it and you need to have support, go to that site. There's access to you to actually go to contact the store folks over there, or getting more information. And then if you need to get this support, then you go to store support on that address. Really transparent way. Everything is documented over there. So 1.2, app must be fully functional. The developer didn't provide a test account in the notes to testers field. One of the most top reasons to fail. The app includes coming soon, more to come for primary user scenarios. So don't put this kind of stuff over there. You can put do a blog and talk about that in the additional information that you're planning over there. Otherwise, the users could think that they have those features over there, downloading the application and disappoint. We don't want to do that. Or the descriptions, as I said earlier, doesn't match with the implementation. The app plays background audio but does not currently implement play, pause, and play, pause events to enable users to control audio playback. This is interesting. If you have an application that has an audio, background audio, which means that you can jump out of the application and the audio continues to play, you need to implement certain functionalities to your application, because the user could have a remote control in their hand and it needs to work. They need to be able to press pause with the remote control, because that's supported with Windows 8. So you need to think about that kind of stuff also. So all of these are documented in the MSDN documentation, which is only like 10,000 pages, so you could read that before end of today. But do check the StoreFix site or the address for that one. Other one is that the app must launch within 5 seconds of viewer. That must be suspending in 5 seconds of viewer. Suspending means, remember, if you go away from the application, the focus leaves from the application, it goes to the background, it is suspended. If you try to do too much stuff and it takes more than 5 seconds to actually suspend the application, it might fail. I didn't say it failed, I said might. And privacy policy, we already talked about this. Add the privacy policy in the app settings. So the settings are always found from the right-hand side. Users will find that from there. Put it over there. Use the flyouts. There's different ways to actually add stuff to the settings and your own customers' UIs. Use those. App must be localized. It means fully localized. The Chrome, the content, the metadata, the screenshots, the promo images, it needs to be localized. What you need to do also, there are certain application languages that are like allowed store languages. Those are the languages that you need to have in your application. One of those languages to actually submit to the store. There are also supported languages, which could be additional languages that are not the core languages in store, but you could add those in addition to those core languages. Make sense? For example, you could build an application which is in Finnish and add some Same or something, if we would have that. I'm not sure if we have that. We probably have, yes. But you could have something that is not the core languages, but you need to have one to actually submit over there. Didn't show about the developer account itself. Wondering if we still have it over here. We don't. So, well, maybe I show that. Dev windows.com. Sign in. Now it signs with the wrong one. I need to sign out from there. So I can show you the awesome results for the bummer. All right, on the dashboard, jump into the app. That is true. Kiitos. All right, so jump into to this one. Going over here and looking at looking at the reports. So I have the reports unchanged. Edit. Did I start the certification already? There we go, that one. So that was the other release I was starting that. So over here we can see how much it's downloaded, how huge ratings I have been receiving. Also, I don't have in-app purchase. I haven't sold any additional traffic signs. I can see the usage. I can see the usage in a way like which form factor have used that. I can track that in different periods of times. On download side, I can see that it's how many Belgians have downloaded my app. Whoa. It's nice to have a lot of friends in different places. So we can actually see the trends of this. And so you can imagine that you're thinking that you're selling your application to like around 13 years old girls and boys, and actually that's like 6 years old grandmothers that are downloading your application. If you're going to do in-app purchase campaign, you probably will concentrate on different articles than you would if your customers are not 13 years old boys that you thought they would be. This helps to actually think about the monetizing and think about how to take that to the next level. You get a lot of different kind of information for this one, but as you can see, quality is one really interesting thing. We can even see from here if you have crashed. If there's a crashes, you will get the information. As you can see, my application has not crashed. It's so awesome. Or nobody is using that. That's the other reason. But anyway, so you get a lot of information for the analytics on that side. And it's really handy because it's all out of box. With the account that you have, you get all that information from there. For the promotions, we have the store. That store has the categories, it has editorial promotions and app listing. These are the places that we can push you. You need to have a great app, which looks good, is fast and fluent, tells that I'm really good guy to my boss, and also obeys the design rules. Tips for the promotions: build a great app, follow the UX guidelines. Do you support all of them, all of the platforms? Submit all 4 promotional assets as we talk, and follow up the users' reviews. And as a last thing I want to show, also as a promotion ways that we have. So let's go over here and what's the game? Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja. So I'm searching Fruit Ninja. And you know the game, the Fruit Ninja game. Have you seen that? Some of you have. So I just searched Fruit Ninja from Bing. One thing which, when I'm going slightly down lower, I can see that actually Fruit Ninja for Windows. It's in the store. I could actually click that and download that. So by that, it actually jumps to the over here, and I could go over here and install that. So we're actually indexing the whole store and pushing that to the SEO systems. So search engine optimizing, and that goes also for the other search engines. So that's really neat way to actually have that. The other one is what we can also do is let's go to a Fruit Ninja site. Fruit Ninja. So you could also, I had that already, so I could go to, no, it was cut the rope. Yeah, cut the rope. Cut the rope. So this is Cut the Rope's site. So they actually have the same on web. But what we could also do, I can see from there that I can switch to the local app. So by putting one little tag to the website, the Windows 8 platform will recognize that, hey, actually you have this application. Would you like to play the local version? If I haven't installed that, it would say, would you like to download this from the store? So you can promote your own applications also on the pages for your brand. Pretty neat on that side too, because it recognizes those for Windows 8 automatically. With that, the next steps that you need to do is to create a store account, reserve your app name. It will remain there 6 months, even though you won't submit your application. Fill the submission metadata, certify the app, and promote your app. And make $1 million. Any questions? Are there some criteria of what you can publish or not? It's just what? Like a joke? I'm dead serious with it. It's mine. No, seriously, it's not a joke. It's my baby, you know. Yeah. 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 Yes. Okay. Yeah. So the comment was about is there some restrictions or some of the how do they restrict the application that, for example, on phone side there is a WordPress which is free, and somebody else is selling the same kind of application on that side. If they own the brand, they can actually block that. Others couldn't do that. There's a way, if somebody is using your brand, you can actually let us know, and we will make sure that they never will do that again. We won't send any motorcycle guys over there which just like really gently suggest that they would remove that before we do. For the content itself, if it's not limited with the brands or copyright, you are free to actually build your own version of that. It is called competition. So it is possible on that side. One thing that often is raised is that, okay, what about like low quality applications? So that's the model that we're doing. We're building the store in a way that if you would submit something that is really low quality, it won't appear in any promotions. It won't erase in any list that try to show the application that you have over there. And if you search that, if you really search, if you really know which one you are searching, you will find that. But otherwise, there is a logic which actually promotes the application that are on the quality level are better. So that actually, once again, emphasize, make sure that you concentrate on the quality. Because we want to make sure that we have a good experience with the users, and when users are rating the application, that's the best way to drive your application. We do not block unless there are some legal things. Any other questions? Sorry, can you speak up just a little bit? The only word I heard was would it be and location in the end. Oh, yeah, okay. Great question over there, even though I couldn't hear that. So is it possible to actually declare the capabilities? Just declare the capabilities and not building the on-off button. Actually, the on-off button comes by default over there. The Visual Studio is smart enough to build that to you. But still, if you're using GPS for the location, you need to fulfill the requirements that the certification requires for the usage of that data. You need to declare how you use that data on GPS. The OS itself provides that the user can switch that off, that you can't update that, you can't use the GPS information, so that comes from out of box over there, but you need to manage that you don't crash if you don't get that information. Make sense? So if you have one submission which is actually submitted to worldwide, and then you get the feedback which is written in Finnish for the Finnish store, I think there is an algorithm that actually pushes that nearby to the top of the apps to show more often if they have more ratings. That's a great question on that side, that how could we get the feedback from different areas. Especially if you're submitting that to US and Finland, you, as a developer, you probably would be interested about hearing the feedback. So on the dashboard, there is a tool for that one, so which you can see, but I don't know how it separates different areas for the stores. But that's a really good point. I need to look into that. Yeah, right. Yeah, but and especially if you have this kind of discoveries, do let me know. So I really shortly showed my contact information, but I'm the one who is actually looking after the Windows 8 in Finland on the developer ecosystem, and with also the partners that would like to build something, or the partners that would like to order another partner to actually build something. So I'm trying to also connect the dots. So once you know what you have built, or once you have built something, we have a side call, and this is the last thing I show, because I didn't save any time for us anyhow end of the day. But if you go to microsoft.fi/app, this is a place that we have all the workshops that we're creating locally. This is the place where you get all the contact information. If you want to start building stuff, there's a lot of different content for this is a really good local landing page for building apps. Over here we have this one. It says we help your Windows 8 applications to become true. Read more. The idea of over here is, can you say in English, expose yourself? You need to expose yourself as a Windows 8 developer. So what that means for us, we know that you know how to build those. If you have built a lot of apps, let us know. We have a lot of partners and companies that would like to have another company that could build the application for them. That's business for you, but we need to know what you have done. So go over there, just sign over there. We might send you email, or we might not. It depends on the law that we have. But all of those goes to a system that we can see those. With that, thank you, and hopefully we all see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock.